Hello, fellow Photoshoppers. It is I, once again, Mark Elmo Ellis with PhotoshopTrainingForum.com, where we teach you clearly and concisely how to use Adobe Photoshop. Today we're going to look at how to apply the Unsharp mask filter. The Unsharp mask filter. Now that's a whole mouthful. Basically what the Unsharp mask filter does is it allows you to make a kind of a sort of a blurry picture a little more clearer than it was when you first started out with it. And what it does is it takes all the pixels along the edges of your picture and it sharpens them so that it looks a little bit more crisp of a picture. And to show you how this works, we're going to go up to up here in the menu where it says filter, and we're going to click on filter, and then down here we're going to go down to sharpen, and we're going to unsharp mask right here in this panel. Once your Unsharp mask panel opens up, or your window, make sure you click on this that says preview. Make sure you have it ignited there so that you can see the changes that are going to occur once you adjust some of these things down here. Okay, and you'll notice that in the Unsharp mask you have three values or three settings down here. First of all is the amount. And basically what they mean by amount is how much it's going to sharpen or unsharpen the image, okay? Now I have reset all of these to about the medium range here, so we'll actually get to see a dramatic effect here. So I'm going to slide the amount once again this way, and you'll notice how it changes inside the box here. Now if I hit preview, which I told you to ignite a while ago, it'll change the whole image on the outside of it. So you can see how this is the amount of sharpness we're going to get assigned to this image. And all depends on personal preference where you feel it makes your picture look a little sharper. So forth. This looks kind of considerably sharper right here. All right. Now the next thing or value we're going to look at is the radius. And this is supposed to be the number of pixels that are surrounding the edge pixels here, okay? So anyway, when you start sliding this slider, what we're talking about is the right along the edge where you see the sharpness getting sharper, right? This is the radius of those two. Now watch this when we move this around. See? It's changing the whole radius of the pixels. And somehow Photoshop is able to go around and determine where the edges are of each individual on here. And then that's changing the radius. If you look really close, you'll see like a little white line. Well, that's the edge pixels we're talking about. So when I start to slide it, they get bigger. See how that is? There's the edge pixels there. So it's going around each figure on the image to see where the image is to sharpen it or whatever. So that's the radius. So, okay, let's pull this back a little bit now. All right, now you see how blurry that is. This is about where we started out with. And then the last slider to worry about is the threshold. And basically the threshold is the determining factor of which pixels are going to be considered the edge pixels around each figure, okay? So when you increase the threshold here, let's see, let's sharpen this a little bit here. All right, okay. And let's do a radius a little bit higher. Now, the threshold is going to say basically, well, this might not be the edge of an individual or figure on the picture. If you go lesser of the threshold, you'll notice it starts to just pick everything. If you go more on the threshold, it picks less and less parts. Okay, so let's crank it all the way up, and you'll notice it's not going to pick anything. Nothing's changing. See, I'll put it back down here. Now it's going to change, right? But threshold, if you have a high threshold, that means it's not going to change anything. If you have a low threshold, it means it's just going to grab anything and everything, and it's going to be ridiculous. So that's what you can do. Now, it gets rather scientific about how you can use this and all the rest of it. And you'll see guys in magazines, Photoshop magazines, saying, you know, yeah, we're going to assign it this value and that value. But it's all a matter of personal preference. It's what your eye thinks is pleasing and what makes it look sharper. The main thing is that you know what this does, and you start to use it, and you start to use it with your own photographs to spruce them up. Anyway, the more you use Adobe Photoshop tools, the more you'll understand them and the more you will get out of them. This has been Mark Elmo Ellis with PhotoshopTrainingForum.com, where we show you how to clearly and concisely use Adobe Photoshop. God bless, and have a great day.